Live from London, it's Plank of the Week with Kevin O'Sullivan.
Hi, welcome to Plank of the Week. I'm Kevin O'Sullivan, and of course I'm standing in for my good friend Mike Graham. And I've got a hell of a panel for you this week. It is the brilliant Will Geddes, the amazing Samara Gill, the mediocre Pete Barnes, the brilliant Pete Barnes, and the fantastic Ash Gould. Without further ado, take it away, Will.
Let's start with this fabulous incentive that Keir Starmer launched, which was this one in, one out. Do you remember that?
Well, how can we forget the most ridiculously wrongly named scheme of all time?
And also, I don't know how one in, one out works with the catch-up programme of the 60,000 illegal immigrants that have already got into the country, albeit over the previous government, but expedited by this current government. So what we have in this particular instance is another fantastic theoretic back of a fag packet plan which they put together, which was, OK, we get one in, we get one out. Sadly, it's already fallen down, and they had one particular individual, an Iranian gentleman, who they sent back to France, who then claimed he wanted asylum, safety in the United Kingdom because he was very frightened in France.
Well, it's an incredible story that actually exposes this ludicrous scheme for the nonsense that it is. I mean, it's just completely baffling, a massive, massive waste of money. And if you want to not know all about it, you know what, always tune into Sky News. Here we go.
Is the government's migration policy in tatters? Just 42 people have been sent back under the flagship French one-in, one-out policy.
A groundbreaking returns pilot.
Now, one migrant has returned across the Channel, less than a month after being flown back to Paris. The Iranian national is said to have claimed he felt unsafe in France, but the Home Office is still going to deport him for a second time.
That guy's such a dork. Honestly, is that his hair or a hat?
Yeah. It's a hat.
The Guardian is the one that got this exclusive, which really makes me think the scheme's in tatters, because if even they are willing to call it out and say it for what, what it is.
On a very basic level, what confused me from the start, and I'm sure you all agree, was the idea of tackling the migrant crisis is obviously to reduce the numbers of migrants coming into this country.
Exactly. Yeah.
This scheme does not numerically form that,
makes it worse, if anything.
Even if it was working, we're just swapping foreigners.
Yeah. And each one can bring family members over.
That's the important point.
10, 20 family members.
The first person that we got back from the French, he brought like 3 other people with him. That's the most absurd thing about it. But let's be real, the government had to do something, and this is why the French took full advantage. The terms of the deal are all in their favour. I mean, Keir Starmer was so over a barrel on this because politically he was done for on it. It's absolutely absurd to me.
They had to do something. The government had to do something, but as per, they've done something that doesn't amount to a hill of beans. In fact, it's a comedy show. It humiliates our government. And the whole idea of it is just headline chasing.
The thing
We've got to scheme. We've got to scheme.
We knew it works the same as the Smash the Gangs. I mean, we knew before it started.
Yeah, what happened to Smash the Gang?
It's all a failure, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, smash the gang, shut up.
The thing I just don't understand is any sort of environment where you've got a transient group of unidentified individuals, particularly of male fighting age, that are coming into this country, why there is no soak environment where they could be put in, like a decommissioned cruise ship or a container ship. You put them all on there, find out who's valid to actually come on shore, who's not, chuck them out. I mean, I remember working on security of tankers where they'd have stowaways. And certainly a number of the Serbian skippers would quite allegedly just drop them over the side if they weren't there. Now, I'm not suggesting that we do that, but what I'm saying is we don't allow these people to come on shore, and it's going all the way down to the West Country. It's not just at the shortest point between Calais and the UK. This is all the way down our southern coastline.
Yeah, and it's not in, don't forget one in, one out was supposed to be a deterrent.
Yeah.
It was always a ludicrous proposition because they say, we're going to send back 1 in 17 migrants. Yeah. Well, that's worth a roll of the dice in anyone's book. So it didn't work on that basis. And the fact that they've only managed to send back, what is it?
40, well, technically 41.
41, and France has sent us 18. That's not a deterrent. And if you doubt that, have a look at the figures. Since we launched the one in, one out scheme in early August, I think it's something like 15, 20,000.
Yeah, it's just short of 11, just over 11,000.
Okay. We had 1,000, didn't we? Over 1,000.
So it's not a deterrent. It's expensive. It's a waste of time. Anyway, I've been having a big campaign and trying to get a doctor to agree to inject strychnine into Keir Starmer, and it looks like it's worked. There it is. That was a joke, folks, for you literally minded people. He's having his flu jab there. Yeah. Why isn't he having a COVID jab as well? Aren't you supposed to have those?
Yeah, I remember when...
Only we're meant to have those.
Wasn't Matt Hancock, when he was Health Secretary, there was a big push for him to be the first person to get it. There was a real, kind of, he's got to be him as the kind of figurehead for it. And,
I mean, the thing about flu jabs is that you never know, that doctors never know from one year to the next whether or not they're going to be that effective. Yeah. Sometimes the vaccine is very good, depending on the strain of flu that is predominating in the country. Sometimes it's useless. But there's Keir Starmer showing the way. Get your flu jabs, folks. He seems to be saying. Now, talking of useless leaders, there's the leader of the Green Party, David Polden. Oh, no, I'm sorry, he's changed his name, hasn't he, to the far more groovy Zach Palansky. Among his many lack of talents, it turns out he can't sing either. Have a look at this.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. Ain't no river wide enough.
There's old Zach. Don't call us, Zach. He looks like Plug from the Beano, doesn't he? He's got to do something about those teeth. Honestly, he is a cartoon lefty. Every single lefty cliche he spews. What a joke. Talking of jokes, it's now your turn, Samara. Who are you nominating for Plank of the Week?
Well, I was just thinking of that doctor you said that you wanted to inject Starmer with some interesting different things. I mean, this guy is someone who posed as a worker in the NHS, not a doctor. He's called Lucius Nyong'o. He's 33. He posed as his friend Joyce.
Hang on, which one is he?
Yeah. He's the one on the... So he's the one on the right.
He's the one in the coat.
Yeah. The white.
So the other one's a woman.
Yes.
Is that Joyce?
All right.
The other one, I tell you what, though, for all that, they don't look the same. They don't look the same, and I think that goes back to why no one knew for 2 to 3 months whether or not that was the same person. No one questioned him. So he posed as his friend and he started working in the NHS. Brilliant. And he was bathing people. He was washing and clothing them. This is quite intimate stuff that he was doing, all under the fake pseudonym Joyce, and no one questioned him, which shows the state of our NHS at the moment.
Well, looking at Joyce, I can see how he got away with it. But what was he getting out of it? Why did he want to do it?
Well, that's the big question. I mean, he hasn't served any jail time for this. He got a suspended sentence.
Obviously.
So, yeah, of course.
Everybody gets a suspended jail sentence.
Everyone does. I mean, someone in the NHS asked him, hey, are you Joyce? And he goes, yes, but I'm a man now. So, I mean, you had some great points last night about this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the NHS, what's going on?
But this is the point. It's the NHS is the biggest proponent of the trans agenda that we have in the country. They're actively refusing to accept this Supreme Court ruling on what is a woman. And the thing that gets me, nobody complained about this. Like within that's why
they're scared to, aren't they?
That's the point. They're scared to.
Man.
We've got an environment now where you can't say, wait a minute, you're not that person because of the consequences that might beset you. That's the problem. If you're brave enough to actually come forward, you're the one that gets in trouble.
I get that, but in this woke world, imagine it. You turn around and say, you're not a woman, you're a bloke. And imagine if you're wrong. That's going to get you into a world of trouble,
That's
isn't
the
it?
bigger crime. You'd probably be behind bars, unlike he is today.
Well, no suspended sentence.
Well, Pete brought to my attention that actually it's the same hospital that Lucy Letby worked in where this happened, which is interesting.
I was reading the other day, I don't know if this is true, but it is possible for men to be nurses.
Well, clearly.
There's also a big broader story here. There are so many kind of fake nurses out there within our NHS.
We get fake qualifications in the sort of
brigade of them.
But like, there's
fake doctors, aren't there?
doctors, and they kind of there's like industrial-sized fraud going on within the NHS. With people coming from countries like Nigeria and Ghana in particular, who are faking the documentation.
Right.
It's not being checked,
Yeah.
and they're working in our NHS
As nurses, but I bet they're also doing it as doctors as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Some of them are better than the qualified ones.
Yeah, I remember there was a story, I can't remember the hospital, but there was this doctor, a pretend doctor, who'd worked there like 25 years, became a surgeon and stuff, and it was regarded to be extremely, extremely good. And then they found out after 2 decades he was entirely unqualified.
Brilliant. But did a good job.
In a way, the NHS needs more people. I mean, maybe this isn't the answer. But
By the way, Lucius Njoku, what was his actual offence, out of interest?
That's a good
Going
question.
equipped to
I
deceive.
guess it is fraud. I think it is
Fraudulent
fraud.
identity,
That's I remember reading. Yeah, it is
Identity
fraud. It is fraud,
yeah.
but I do think. I mean, he only paid 239 quid as a
that
fine
all?
for this.
Yeah.
As a
You're
fine
kidding.
for this.
Good
yeah.
value.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
the headline on it apparently was the migrant Mrs. Doubtfire. Well, also, I think that our friend Kim Kardashian has been out and about. I don't quite know how this segues on from the migrant Mrs. Doubtfire, but it's going to anyway. It's Kim Kardashian, if you can recognise her, at the Academy Museum Gala in good old New York.
There was a shoot and someone wanted to like have hair down there once, and I was like, couldn't this just be easy and have it on a thong?
Why?
just
She
for-
did this before at the gala, the Metro.
But why
Gala.
the merkins?
The merkin is the real thing. She's
Yeah.
talking about essentially a piece of underwear she's designed that has pubic hair on it.
A pubic wig, a merkin
know what a
is a
merkin
pubic
is.
wig.
Yeah.
But they have different colours too,
Oh,
don't
God.
they? They
Yeah,
have-
I mean, you couldn't
all the way
predict-
through to rust.
You get everything. You get your
by that
national
clip.
flag on a merkin.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start
Get
a
a national
business
flag
up,
on it,
you know,
yeah.
Merkin Inc.
No, you can't. You can't have a national flag.
I mean,
on a
is there a
merkin.
market
you're
for
right.
Merkins anymore?
They all sold out. They sold out
There you
in
go.
45 minutes.
Kev's Merkins.
Yeah.
I'm off. I'm going to make my fortune. I'm going to be a billionaire. Let's move on. Peter Barnes, you've got a story about Barnsley Council.
Yes, I
Barnes
do.
on Barnsley.
I know, yes,
Barnsley.
unfortunately.
You northerners.
I
Is
know,
that in
I
the
know.
same county as you're from?
No, I'm from the other side. I'm from Lancashire.
It's all north, isn't it?
Don't
no
say there's no difference. Don't
There's no
say there's no
difference.
difference. I mean, like you.
Anyway, go on. Tell us your story, Pete.
Anyway, so this is a Barnsley Council who have rather shamefully declined and stopped a group called the Hoyland Remembrance and Parade Group from putting up poppies on lampposts in mark of remembrance. This is basically British remembrance and you know, celebrating our heroes has been stopped by the equivalent of a traffic cone, because what they've said is you can't have these poppies on any lamppost that has got a traffic sign on it. Now, legally, they're perfectly right, but let's be honest, this is just nothing but health and safety and the kind of this narrative of patriotism that's coming under attack by these councils because they don't like it, and it's rather ridiculous. But
Sorry to interrupt
here we
you,
are.
but let me inform you, it's slightly more complicated than that. No, what it is, you know, I know you know this, Pete, but for the audience, the difficulty here is that this council, wrongly in my view, like so many councils across the country, has banned the hanging of flags on lampposts that have specifically got traffic signs on them. So they've already banned flags, so no Union Jacks, no St George's flags. Why? Why have they done that? But because they've done that, they felt that they had to ban these poppies. There are 396 fallen heroes from Hoyland.
It's Hoyland,
Hoyland, 396 fallen heroes, brave men and women of Hoyland who gave their lives, sacrificed their lives for their country. And every year, the local Armistice Parade honours them with a poppy each. So 396 poppies with a name on each one. So it's a lovely tribute, and that goes all the way down the route of the Armistice Parade, the Remembrance Sunday Parade. And this year, because of the flag ban, those heroes will not get their tribute. And I think that is an absolute
disgusting.
tragedy.
It's disgusting.
Tragedy.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
Yeah, what makes it kind of worse is also the fact that they've said that they can't be any higher than head height because it would mean someone would have to use a ladder to put them up. And, you know, they've come at it, they've come at this with every excuse in the book.
It's politicised, the poppy. They tried to ban it in football, didn't they?
Do we know if Barnsley Council banned Union flags and national flags as well?
So this is...
Well, that's my point.
Yeah, no, I know they're doing it across loads of councils.
That's my point. That's why they felt... That was my point.
So they got 4.
Thank you for listening. I explained that in great detail. Because they banned the flags on lampposts, they felt they had to ban these poppy displays. Right. My feeling, I'm sure you all agree, is they shouldn't ban any of them. Let the flags be up there and let the poppies be up there, especially the poppies.
Well, if it's a health and safety thing, why can't they paint the lampposts in our flag colours?
It's just an excuse, though, isn't it?
That'll also be classed as health and safety, won't it? This is the thing, is they hide behind health and safety.
Exactly.
This public safety banner that just gets branded around.
Rubbish.
It's literally, it's to prevent councils from actually having to make decisions or do anything.
But it is, you know, they came up with this excuse, this reason to ban flags.
Yeah.
Barnsley Council and all sorts of other councils. Quite why all these town hall tyrants are so against our national flag, be they the British Union Jack or the English St George's flag, I don't know. But once they'd done that, they didn't feel that they could put these poppies up either.
Ridiculous.
I mean, you know, this is insanity on so many levels.
Anti-British people.
Yeah, what's wrong with our flags, for God's sake?
They don't like this country.
The problem is they've tried to regulate something, but because they've over-regulated, they've essentially banned it. So their excuses have actually just doubled down on the problem that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
I hope if there's one Hamas flag seen being hung or demonstrated up there, someone comes at them hard.
No, it's politicisation of war heroes.
But at least the Hamas flag is black and white, so it won't interfere with the traffic lights.
But the preference...
I thought about that.
The preference for the Palestine flag over the Union Jack is a national scandal. All these councils go, no Union Jacks, no George's flag, because it's a sign of far-right extremism. Oh, a Palestine flag, you can put that up. That's absolutely fine.
Support terrorism.
To hell with that, seriously. Talking of hell, it's your turn. Ash, what have you got? Another council. Another council. It's always councils, isn't it?
This is Richmond, and it's quite a posh council in London. A woman
the west of London?
In the west on the banks of the Thames. A woman has described a moment she was approached by 3 men and fined £150 for pouring coffee down the drain. But apparently, she was meant to throw it in the bin, which I think is ridiculous.
£150. This is like Jobsworth mania, isn't it?
Here's... they chased her.
I don't suppose we'll...
They chased her, apparently.
I don't suppose we'll find out what the real story is here, because this is a BBC report, but take it away.
So I just literally poured it left over there. As soon as I turned around, I noticed 3 men enforcement officers chasing me. It was quite intimidating. I wasn't expecting anything like that. They told me I did something criminal. Not many people know this is against the law.
Yeah, and I believe that the council now, in the cold light of day, has realised it's been absolutely pathetic here, and they've apologised, and I think they've rescinded the fine. But, you know,
quite right.
The fact they did it in the first place is what we're talking about. It's always town halls. Yeah. They are full of madmen. They are full of idiots, Jobsworth idiots. And Peter Blexley, our friend, the former Met Police detective, who stars in so many of our shows, great guest, great guy, he said that he got fined £100 for putting a cigarette down a drain. You know, finished a cigarette, chucked it down the drain, and got fined £100.
A fox might have enjoyed that. You know what I mean?
But what makes it worse for me is the fact that Peter and this lady were trying to do the right thing.
Exactly.
That's the most perverse bit. They weren't littering. They weren't leaving everywhere a mess like
they say put it in the bin, which is obviously worse. You don't have to be a rubbish expert. They never put liquids in a bin.
Yeah, we've taken all the worst elements from police statism, like coffee, you know, putting coffee down the drain, putting out a cigarette, tweets, etc. We've taken all these bad things, and we're still left with the stabbings, you know, the shoplifting, etc. All the other things that come when police actually don't do their job. I mean, we've just got this horrible combination at the moment in Britain.
I'm just going to leave you with the thought, the wisdom of Ash Gould. You don't need to be a rubbish expert to know never put liquid into a bin. And on that bombshell, we're going to go to break. Welcome back. I'm Kevin O'Sullivan, filling in for my good friend Mike Graham, and this is part 2. So it's my go, apparently. And I am nominating, I know he's an old favourite on this show, or an old non-favourite, if you like. He is the London Mayor, Sadiq Khan. Usually it's some old clean air claptrap we have a go at him about, letting this great city go to rack and ruin. He really is a disaster. But this is serious, folks. This is a scandal. This is an absolute disgrace. London, the capital, has a major grooming gang problem. Now, what is Sadiq Khan doing? He is willfully ignoring this. He is going down the same horrific path that all those northern cities like Rochdale and Rotherham and all the other places around the country went down. In other words, they all knew it was going on, and what did they do? They willfully ignored it. They turned a blind eye because they didn't want to be accused of Islamophobia. They didn't want their town or their city to look bad. We've had this guy on a couple of times. There's a guy called John Wedger. He's a former Met Police detective, and his speciality was investigating sexual abuse, particularly of children. He's retired now, but he has not dropped the mantle. He goes into town and he says, it's going on. And he's offered many times to Sadiq Khan or his office, say, look, I've got a file, I can give it to you. I can take you to where it's happening. Sadiq Khan, la, 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 la. Absolute disgrace. But this is John Wedger on my show.
Just goes to show, when I was sort of removed from that post in the early 2000s, nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed seems to be the ethnicity of those doing it. It's the same algorithm all the time.
He's doing it again. Can you believe it?
I think we need some sort of independent oversight.
By the way, I've won. He's going to be plank of the week.
I don't know. I might have a good contender, but I think that
I decide, don't I?
Yeah,
so you can forget about it. No, so
all right,
let's talk about. No. I mean, seriously.
So no, I think there needs to be some serious independent oversight, some investigative committee that can look at notifications, communications that have come into Sadiq Khan to see when he was first aware of it and what steps he actually took. He needs to be audited like any other public official. And if he is found to either have concealed, hidden or destroyed any evidence that could have been addressed or even passed on to the authorities, then he should be criminally charged. That's my personal
This is half of the point. It's actually the reports about this from his own office detail rather brutally a lot of what has been going on. And he's just gone out there and said, it's not real.
And everyone's talking about...
Office,
but he gets asked,
staggering.
He gets asked direct questions.
Dereliction.
Mayor Khan, I believe this is Susan Hall, I believe we have a very serious rape gang problem here. So what are your thoughts on this? You go...
Define it.
And it's not just a northern town problem, is it? It's nationwide.
The reason he's doing it, though, and Susan Halls was bang on when she said this, he was trying to goad her into making it about race so he could play the race card. That's what he's doing.
Are you asking me this because I'm a Muslim? He said. No.
Because you're mayor.
No, we're not.
I'm so tired of this whole race card fatigue.
Left-wing politicians, I include Peter Mandelson, Keir Starmer, Jess Phillips, don't seem to care about the welfare of the young victims of sexual abuse. It's a very strange syndrome.
It's weird.
Let's move on from that rather serious section. Will, what have you got?
Well, you may have heard about some slightly precious items getting stolen from a museum in Paris, otherwise known as the Louvre, and those precious items being France's crown jewels, pretty much.
Bonaparte's.
Napoleon Bonaparte's and a number of other associated jewels. But these are really the jewels in the crown, so to speak.
They're the crown jewels.
They're crown jewels
Literally.
indeed, Ash. So
Thanks,
these were all under the watch of their new head of security.
That's why I'm here.
Thanks, mate.
What was the rubbish one again?
You don't have to be a rubbish expert to know you never throw liquid into
No, it's one of the first things you learn.
Rubbish.
One of the first things you learn when you do a course in rubbish. Talking of rubbish,
diploma in rubbish. Thank you. Back to my mediocrity, Kev. So anyway, they had a head of security who's now being accused as a bit of a DEI hire. Her name is Dominique Buffin.
She looks like it.
And Dominique Buffin, who's 46 years old, who, by a little bit of my own research, doesn't seem to have a great deal of experience in security, which kind of...
Clearly, that figures.
Yeah, it kind of proven itself as. Only often when these things happen in anger that you find out if you can actually do the job. So, anyway, the whole situation is everybody knew the security had to be overhauled, that it was all getting very old. There were budgets that were being applied for. But, and here's the big but, the fact is there were not any sufficient security, CCTV, intrusion detection outside the actual Louvre itself.
Because they had a ladder
so
up,
when they turned up with a great big crane that they'd carjacked a couple of days earlier to actually then mount, that nobody within the 7 minutes even noticed. I mean, even if some security guard had turned up, immobilised it, prevented it from them effecting an escape, would have been something.
They were very smart, Will.
And it was open. The museum was open at the time.
So
it just opened. It was early in the morning.
Perfect time.
It happened.
And they angle grinded their way into the...
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
we are not in the French mentality. It happened at 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday. There's not a single Parisian that is awake at that time, OK? On a Sunday morning, no one was awake. And the tourists that were coming in there, they basically, once they let them in, it takes them a while to get to that section. So it actually was a pretty thought-through operation,
It was very considerate, I think.
Yeah,
very considerate.
I mean, there was literally a crane there. I saw a photo of someone who was in Paris at the time, and she had it on her social media, and I could see the crane in her phone. No one noticed.
Well, they'd carjacked that, and the fact that the gendarme hadn't picked up on this, or someone had reported it and gone, evidently whoever's stolen it needs to get to an elevated position. Where might that be?
Paris's top super sleuth copper is on the case. There he is, Inspector Clouseau. Inspector Clouseau there. Is he for real? Is he for real?
Where's his moustache?
I'm loving the fedora.
What is it with him?
I feel that I need to get one now.
You put more thought into his outfit than into
probably into his investigation. Look how bored the gendarme look.
That guy couldn't solve dick, I'll tell you that. Honestly.
So I think Dominique Buffoon, being the head of security, who was brought in, Buffin, I think she probably deserves.
She probably thinks lots of too much security is not woke enough.
Yeah. No.
They were in secure cabinets, but they got rid of them and got insecure cabinets.
I've got a feeling it might have been, and I've got a feeling that
Let me ask you this, Will. What interests me, these the items they stole, Napoleon's crown, and as you say, effectively the crown jewels.
Crown jewels.
Thank you again.
What was that, Ash?
The crown jewels, literally.
Thank you again for that, Ash.
They found a crown on the floor.
These are priceless, unique items.
Yeah.
What value are they to anyone? How would you make money out of that? Because you couldn't sell it to me, could you? I wouldn't have the money.
Unless, of course, Kevin, you had ordered it. And I think these are very much
so there's a market for these priceless items.
There is some ultra-high net worths, maybe who are fringing in the criminal sort of underworld, that would love to have something like this on display in their den
to show their friends.
Exactly.
Putin.
And that happens to a lot of the fine art, like Van Goghs and Monets. They end up hanging in their dining rooms for their other criminal
But these can be broken up into the jewels, recut, and the gold can be melted down.
Ash, I mean, when you actually break down the diamonds, firstly, the diamond exchanges are very, very cautious about these things. I actually worked on a movie, Den of Thieves, Pantera, which was about Pink Panthers. So I learned a little bit about diamonds. Yeah. And when you break it down, cut it down, you actually don't get as great a value. And once you've taken it out of the piece, so the value is actually in its construction.
In the whole,
the tiara or the necklace or whatever it might be.
So if there would actually be, because they say, well, there's no point in the other. Of course, the most famous exhibit in the Louvre is the Mona Lisa.
Yeah. It's about £80 million worth of stuff.
But technically, you would say, well, there's no point in stealing that because. But there would be. There are people who'd like to say.
Yeah, there are indeed.
I'm going to show you.
But the thing that baffles me and why Dominique Buffoon really failed at their job is if you think about if you went to Bond Street or any major sort of street where they've got jewellers. You know, the Van Cleef & Arpels and the Cartiers and the Graffs. The security at those stores is so much better than it is even at, sadly, many of the museums here in the UK as well.
Our crown jewels are safe, though. I mean, they're pretty
Well, you've got the beefeaters, so you've got to get through them first.
So what the Gioconda smile, you know, and the Mona... I mean, I always figured that must have been a brief moment because she must normally have been miserable because otherwise, why else would she be called Mona Lisa? You know,
you're
always
right, man.
moaning.
But you look at also all these Just Stop Oil protesters. Very good, Kev. Very good.
It's the way I tell
That got stolen, didn't it, from the Louvre?
People was like, hang on, he just made a joke.
Take a little while
Good one, wasn't it?
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. It was funny because if you have to explain a joke, it doesn't mean it's any good. And that wasn't a very good joke. The Mona, always moaning that, Lisa. Right, Samara, what have you got for us?
Well, speaking of jokes, let's talk about these bathtub baptisms.
Oh, your bathtub baptisms.
Bathtub baptisms. I mean, this really is a spectacle. In a lot of these asylum seeker hotels that, shock horror, we pay for, if you didn't know, they are doing bathtub baptisms with a Christian charity. There's essentially baptizing these migrants because it helps with their claim. Or at least, you know, I mean, maybe, look, benefit of the doubt, some of them might want to convert to Christianity. They made it across the channel alive. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's one of those things where... Well, we have all these
They've seen the light.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, we have all these woke lawyers that help them. Oh, this will help with your claim. Obviously, it's in the Christian charities' benefit to keep baptizing people. They've got quotas to meet. It's a real rort, and it reminds me of the thing where migrants used to claim they were homosexual in order to gain asylum because Christianity, homosexuality, it's a great case for them to say...
Sometimes both, belt and braces, Christian and gay at the same time.
The thing about these baptisms is they've been carried out by these kind of wandering, roving Christian clerics from a charity called the Care Links Ministry.
Yes.
Right, so these migrants, as you say, what they do is they convert to Christianity and they say, if I go back to Syria, I'll be persecuted because they don't like Christians there. Oh, right, OK, we believe you. Millions wouldn't. Anyway, they call up these Care Links goons and they say, I want to convert to Christianity. And they just go down and do it, like it's a bathtub baptism.
The Care Links people come to them and then they just do a mass round.
That's what I'm saying. They come to they do it. And one of them was quoted this week. One of these wandering clerics from Care Links Ministries saying, it's not my job to work out whether or not they're sincere. Anybody who wants to be baptised, I just do it. I say it is your job to work out.
Qualify it.
You don't just do it, you know.
What we do know is that that guy who went around throwing acid on everyone, that former asylum seeker, I forget his name, but he ended up dying, and he was one of those Christian converts, you know. He ended up having an Islamic funeral. So I think we know where the allegiance lies there. You know, he was identifying...
And the Liverpool hospital bomber was the same.
You're correct.
The guy with the eye.
We can see time and time again that there is absolutely no authenticity in these converts, and they're just doing it for their asylum claim. But it also shows how fragile our system is.
It shows the absurdity of it all, really, because let's not forget the Church of England denied any of this was going on. One of the top people came out and said, no, it's definitely happening. And it was just this big report.
But it's not technically the Church of England.
No.
It's something called the Christian.
Yeah, this is the Christian part of the sect.
But so this Christian sect, they are Christians.
Yeah.
But they're weird kind of Christians. For example, they don't believe in the Holy Trinity, which is kind of central to the whole kind of Christian
sort of a core
thing.
value, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, the idea that you can just phone up and say, hello, you know, I'm Abdul Khan and I'm staying at this asylum seeker hotel. Can you come down and baptise me? And these guys go, yep, there in 10 minutes. You know, they don't ask them whether they're sincere, whether
Do they get a diploma afterwards or a certificate?
Did I use bubble bath?
It's actually even worse. They're doing them kind of in a batch type of basis. So even if that one person would say, maybe 3 more would decide, yeah, why not? And then they'll wait out the door, and then they'll be doing these baptisms. So it's actually a scandal if you think about it.
It's one more scandal permeating this scandal-ridden country. And on that bombshell, we're going to go to a real break. Let's do it. Welcome back to part 3 of Plank of the Week. I'm Kevin O'Sullivan and I'm sitting in for my good friend Mike Graham. And without further ado, next up in the list of shame It is Peter Barnes. What do you got, Pete?
Well, I've got West Midlands Police yet again, and this ongoing saga with the Tel Aviv Maccabi fans and their banning, and the fact that the West Midlands Police have proven this country is anti-Semitic because they cannot guarantee the safety of these fans. It is an absolute national disgrace.
Yeah.
And it boggles the mind, this story, really, because it is their job to keep the public safe. It is their job to enforce all of this stuff. And they said, we can't do it.
Yeah.
They have announced very officially that they say the country is not safe for people coming here.
It's now official to ban Jews, isn't it? And it's appeasing. It's
By the way,
appeasing
the only reason I wouldn't normally have Ash on the show, but the reason we've got him is he happens to be Jewish and he happens to be an Aston Villa fan. So for once in his life, he's got something relevant to say. Seriously, though, Ash.
No, but they're appeasing it, so this will go on for more and more. You know, it's like this grammar school teacher in Batley on. You've got to really meet this. If the police can't do their job, you can bring the army in, but you've got to face it head on.
I think, Samara, what you have to ask yourself here is, all of these imams and these Muslim MPs in Birmingham are all saying, it's a football hooliganism issue. It's about safety of the fans. What you have to ask yourself, I think, is would the West Midlands Police and the Birmingham Council's Safety Advisory Board, whatever the hell that is, would they take the same attitude if the away fans were for, shall we say, Palestine United or Gaza Albion?
Yeah.
Would they take the same attitude? I don't think they would.
There would be civil war on the streets. And why this case really scares me so much is because it actually shows how dark and insidious these plans have become. Because obviously there was that petition by Ahmed Khan.
Ayub Khan was inciting violence.
Who else's name was it?
Ahmed Yaqub, who worked on that, and then also obviously Jeremy
Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn is one of the raisers of that petition. He is the independent MP for Islington North, a London constituency, who, to the best of my knowledge, throughout his extremely long 300-year career, has never once mentioned the issue of football hooliganism. All of a sudden, he's very energised about it because, of course, in this instance, it involves banning Jews. We got a massive problem with Birmingham, haven't we?
Oh, a huge one, because also the constituency next to Ayub Khan is Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary. She's awfully quiet on this issue, isn't she?
Yeah.
But one thing, they keep using the issue of Amsterdam as a kind of justification for this. Out of the 62 people that were arrested, only 10 were Maccabi fans. And this is the point.
They heard messages like days before.
The thing about Maccabi Tel Aviv fans is, to be fair, there does tend to be trouble wherever they go. But it's not really their fault. They get attacked by pro-Palestine maniacs. That's what happened in Amsterdam. And funny enough, an imam from Birmingham spoke out a few weeks back in Amsterdam saying, show the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans no mercy. That's good, isn't it? Take it away, Imam.
Remember, Rahma is in its place. It's in its place. When the Tel Aviv fans come to Birmingham in a few weeks, we will not show them Rahma in Birmingham.
Rahma means mercy, so he's saying, beat the hell out of them, basically.
He should be arrested for incitement to violence.
Well, exactly. Well, I'm going to say, when did this country become the cesspit for every hate preacher? Because that's what that guy is.
Yeah.
Why are they all here? Why do we keep welcoming in these people?
We let them get away with it, that's why.
Countries like the Middle East, countries in the Middle East ban the Brotherhood and things like that. We don't have the tenacity to do that here because we don't want to come down on these communities and we want the votes. It's really, really horrible and it's dark. It's dark that they banned the Jews. I was looking at some propaganda from 1930s Germany and they used to also use safety as a veil for protecting the Jews. We don't want them to come here because we're trying to protect them.
They even shut down Jewish comedians in Edinburgh because some of the staff said we feel unsafe. I mean, they weren't even pro-Israel or no one knew. Just because they were Jewish, the staff said, we're unsafe. They cancelled it.
This is where I want to bring up
Nazi Germany.
We're both bringing up this safety advisory group and what this group actually is. So they were brought in after Hillsborough to help coordinate different public bodies and all the rest of it. The reality is these are bureaucratic organisations with incredible power, no accountability.
Yeah.
They're not under statutory power.
And no doubt captured like everywhere
But more importantly, they don't have to tell you who was at the meeting. There's no minutes of the meeting. And yet, if the club doesn't follow the rules, they could lose their licence, they lose their insurance and everything. These hold incredible amounts of power and the public have no right to know who's on them or what was said.
And the popular
it's astounding.
thing, football fans or a lot of fans, the popular thing to say is, well, you can't blame Aston Villa or Maccabi Tel Aviv for this. And to be fair to Villa, I mean, if the police say we can't guarantee people's safety, their hands are tied. They can't let that game go, or they can't let the fans come. But my view on both these teams, Aston Villa and Maccabi Tel Aviv, I think they should take a stand and just say, you don't let these Jewish Israeli fans come to Villa Park, we won't play the match. It's time to take a stand.
Well, also, Kevin, I'm going to jump in on this because, to be honest, I have never believed that there is nowhere that you can't be safe if you take the right precautions and the right security and you have it in place. Now, Keir Starmer, 3-4 weeks ago, turned around and said, we will do everything within our power to protect the Jewish community. Now, the Maccabi fans, there is nothing to stop West Midlands drafting in police from other constabularies.
We've had Millwall fans down Villa.
The point is
you can provide a tunnel for the Maccabi fans to enter the stadium to arrive safely and leave
It's
safely.
another excuse like
the West Midlands police are misconstruing their job. They say we can't guarantee the safety. This is a sectarian.
Nobody can guarantee safety.
No. Their job has to be to guarantee the safety of these Jewish fans, because if they don't, they're essentially saying we cannot. We are presiding over a country and an area in West Midlands that isn't safe for Jews. It is their job to make sure these fans can go to the ground. It's really crucially important. They misunderstand.
But Kev, I think it's a wider implications than just the Maccabi fans. If they're saying we can't guarantee safety for the Maccabi fans, can they guarantee safety for anybody within the West Midlands Constabulary?
Of course they could guarantee.
To be honest,
they're pandering.
It's a slopey-shouldered
They're pandering
approach.
to communities, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
It's a Muslim thing. It's a Muslim thing. They're all done. They're loving banning the Jews, and we've got a real problem with Birmingham in particular, and around the country. We have to guarantee, as a nation, we have to guarantee the safety of Jews to do whatever the hell they like that is within the law, just the same as the rest of us. And the cops saying we can't do that. They're not understanding their job.
Yeah, but also it's the safety of other communities.
Yes,
it's every community.
That's the big. And Prince William is the head of the FA and a Villa fan. Why
hasn't he said it?
Why doesn't he come out?
About time, Prince William, if you're watching, I know you're a fan. I
love Plank of the
About
Week.
time you said something. I'm serious. Let's move on to something sort of slightly less serious. It's renowned world rubbish expert Ash Gould.
I know I'm renowned for rubbish, but I'm also an expert.
The rule again. Everyone
knows that you don't put liquids in a bin. Right, but another thing...
it's obvious.
Another thing I'm an expert on is Penguin and Club chocolate bars. Are they biscuits or chocolate? There's the fruit one. Orange one is the most popular, of course.
That's a pick up a penguin.
Well, they're no longer classed as chocolate after cocoa prices have gone up.
Both penguins and clubs?
Clubs, yeah.
OK, why is that?
Well, because they've changed the contents, because cocoa prices have gone up, so there's less cocoa solids. The cocoa beans from West Africa, where climate change, of course, has led to severe droughts and poor harvests, so they still have cocoa mass.
So they now cover the biscuits with garlic?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what it is, but
plastic.
It's not quite the same.
Plastic!
Just plastic.
It's just a biscuit with a wrapper around it. Listen, you remember this? We've got a club bar. We've had a look at the club bar. We've had a look at penguin bars.
To pick up a penguin.
Pick up a penguin. People of a certain age will remember that. In other words, people of a certain great age like me. Here is the famous club bar commercial.
Love it.
If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club.
Take a club. Oh, that thick real chocolate drives me wild.
If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club.
Because that was the whole selling point.
Yeah.
There's lots of chocolate. By the way, the green one, I remember when I was a kid.
The mint one.
Minty one.
No. The original, it was... It
was always in a red packet.
No, the green one was plain chocolate.
Oh, right.
And I don't like milk chocolate, so I always liked the green...
Yeah, because that's when during the war they didn't have milk chocolate.
The Gaza ration.
Yeah.
The rationing.
Yeah, the rationing.
Which war do you mean? The First World? I remember that. Oh, yeah, they don't make wars like that anymore.
Sitting in the trenches, eating your original green wrapper.
Right, we're all gonna tuck into a penguin and a club each, and we'll be back in a second. welcome back to part 4 of Plank of the Week. I'm standing in for my old mate Mike Graham, and this is a good bit of the show because it's my nomination. My other one, Sadiq Khan, that was the high point of the show so far. This is probably going to top it. It's Prince Andrew, actually. This is a good one. Actually, Prince Andrew.
Actually, this might be a shoo-in.
Yeah. This is about the people of this country telling the king and his family, look, it's not the Middle Ages. We rule the roost, not you, and we have decided we're going to strip your bloody brother of his royal titles. We're going to do it officially. I think the people want it, and I think it should happen. Don't you, Samara?
Yes, but I mean, I think the stress from the royal family's side is that if they do completely cut him off, I mean, financially, in every single way, he might go and write a book and sort of actually just put all their dirty laundry out on the lawn.
Yeah, but that's the royal family's concern.
That's true.
I'd rather like him to do that.
And he should entitle it Mummy's favourite because he was the Queen's favourite. That's why he never was held to any of the consequences under the Queen. And I agree with you. Yes, the King does need to come down hardline on him. Yeah, but why the hell is it taking the King so long? Why?
Because he's trying to protect the royal family. He doesn't want the royal family dragged through the parliamentary mud.
Well, that's happening now because of his latency to do anything.
Well, I'm sorry, you said the key word accountability. I bang on about it all the time. There is no accountability in this country for anybody. This is a moment where we could draw a line and say enough. We can actually say that you're a wrong un, you've done something wrong, we're taking something off you. There is a consequence now.
It's a very good point, Pete. You made it on my show last week. That this would be a chance to show the nation, reveal to the nation the nature of accountability on a grand scale. In other words, you pay the price for your actions. We could demonstrate that. The King's trying to get away with it, I think, and it's not good enough. And, of course, the other bad aspect of the Harry Andrew saga, Ash's Virginia Giuffre, God rest her soul. Her posthumous book came out this week called Nobody's Girl, and in it she chronicles how Prince Andrew sexually abused her on 3 different continents. Prince Andrew denies this, even in his mealy-mouthed statement. I'm going to relinquish my titles due to my duty to my family and my country. Give me a break. Give me a break, you lying hypocrite. So there's new embarrassment because we've got every sordid detail of what happened to her. And it includes things, I'm not going into too many details, but it includes he had an obsession with her feet and was actually very aggressive sexually. He, of course, denies this. He denies ever meeting her, to which we all say, well, why did you give her £12 million not to go to court in New York about it? You're a proven liar because we found out that after you told Emily Maitlis on Newsnight that you'd cut off all contact with the paedophile, the convicted billionaire paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. It was only recently, a week or so ago, it emerged that you sent him an email 3 weeks after you said you'd never talk to him again, saying, oh, hi, Jeff, we're in this together. You know, I'm sure we can ride it out. Let's play again soon. He's a disgusting liar. So who believes him? Who believes that he didn't sexually abuse Virginia Giuffre on 3 continents? Absolutely no one. Andrew, not Prince. Let's take that away from him as well. You're a liar.
He's going to lose his house as well because he's losing all his business deals because no one wants to be associated with him. He has to pay for the upkeep of that as part of the lease, and he hasn't got any money left.
I just want to leave you with one quote from Virginia Giuffre's book.
Are you going?
Yeah, and then I'm going to get out of here.
Can you wait till the end of the show, please?
Well, one quote. Prince Andrew believed having sex with me was his birthright. That was a damning quote when I read it, and I just think that encapsulates everything about this privileged prince that we really need
to hell with Prince Andrew, and we need, as a nation, for the pride of this nation, we need to pass that Act of Parliament to tell him we're in charge and we're taking your titles away. Well, we've come to that point now where I think I have to decide, don't I? Who is the winner of this, the Plank of the Week award?
I wonder if it'll be one of your ones.
It's a close-run thing. It's a close-run thing. It's between Sadiq Khan and Prince Andrew, which are both of mine. No, actually, modesty prevents me from choosing either of mine. very strong contenders, though they obviously were. I think we had some great ones this week, but let's go for the comedy angle, because it is funny. It is your friend Dominic Buffon, Dominic Buffoon, the head of security at the Louvre, who clearly isn't very good at her job. I'd love to have that detective, the Inspector Clouseau in it as well. Dominic Buffon, what would he call
Dominic Buffon.
Dominic Buffon, stroke Buffoon. You are le plank of le week. Thank you very much to Will Geddes, to Samara Gill, to Pete Barnes, and rubbish expert Ash Gould. I've been Kevin O'Sullivan. You've been an amazing audience. As I keep saying, I'm standing in for my friend Mike Graham. See you all very soon.